nice.
May they knife, chip, and shatter.
What?
May they knife, chip, and shatter.
Please put those down.
What is
Guys,
that from?
can't wait to talk about Dune today.
Put it
Dune
down.
Is it going to be a riveting conversation if 2 of the 4
More like a
of us
Duning.
haven't seen it?
Did you have any plans to see it?
I'm going to, yeah.
Oh, slay. No, it's a spoiler free.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
a
right.
spoiler free.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are.
Ryan and John.
Hi, John.
Hey, Ryan.
Looking good over there.
You too.
Just checking in.
How you doing, buddy?
Can't see what you're looking at. You got a privacy screen.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of crazy.
What's that for? Like,
We'll
you
talk
really
about
worried
it. We'll talk
people-
about it.
It's
On the
it's
couch
not
as
that
always.
serious.
Carrot for you.
Happy St. Patrick's Week.
Oh, little leprechaun.
A leprechaun.
And
We're green.
the lovely Annie the Scove Scoveman.
I feel like I can't do a leprechaun voice. I feel like I'm not Irish, so
Just
that's-
try and sound like my
Always
priest.
fresh, never frozen.
I just think of my Irish priest.
Go ahead. You're talking about Monsignor Gallagher.
Can I get-
Monsignor Gallagher.
Follow.
That was
gotta
definitely
be,
the
yeah.
Lucky Charms guy you just did there.
Wow. What the podcast?
Wow.
Back at it again.
Okay,
You know,
again.
I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for St. Patrick's Day, and
Priest.
specifically from Jameson, and they've been saying celebrate St. Patrick's Eve.
Because St. Patrick's Day is on a Sunday.
And
so
who
he
wants to
said,
party hard on a Sunday?
No one.
Certainly not me.
Nobody. Not the Irish.
Not that. Well,
They're
They
in
will
mass.
be.
They're in
Irish.
mass.
They will be partying though.
I want to spend a St. Patty's Day in Ireland one day.
They don't really care about it, allegedly. Where you want to spend it,
Boston.
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, is that where they dye the river
That's
green?
where they dye the river green.
That sounds cool.
St. Patty's Day is my kind of drinking holiday.
Go on.
It's just a little bit more chill. It's not like
Yeah.
there's not like family barbecues. Like it is just for drinking.
Yeah, totally.
So like you can go bar hopping, and then whenever you want to go home, you can go home. There's no like, oh well, you have to stay. You know, like New Year's, it's like, well, you have to stay till midnight. There's not like a thing happening.
yeah.
It's just an overall vibe, and then whenever you want to be done, you can be done. No one really cares.
I just need a shamrock.
Little
Do you really
sidebar.
wear green today because it's St. Patrick's Day week? Or does
Yeah.
it just make sense?
Yeah, sure.
She's Irish, John.
Irish.
Not
Little
respecting our
sidebar,
culture.
John. Are you going out with us on Saturday?
Oh,
To the bar crawl?
bar crawl?
The
Bar crawl.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
I just secured my my
See,
schedule, so
okay,
I'm in.
what stinks
I'm in.
about St. Patrick's Day,
Ding, 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 ding.
like a
Yep.
bar crawl, is it? I feel like it's meant for people who drink beer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the most expensive date on this
well,
bar crawl.
Well, you could
Yeah,
just
you
get,
are.
You
Yeah,
could just
you
get
are.
little like G&Ts at the bar crawl.
yeah, I don't like those.
Well, or whatever
or you
your
could
drink
just
is.
get.
Little
We can get
cosmopolitan.
green
Fancy
tea shots
cocktail.
at every single bar we go
Yes.
A
to.
fancy cocktail.
Have you
A
seen
green tea shot.
Have you seen the mini
You guys
Guinness?
are going to get hammered on Saturday.
You're gonna get hammered,
You're getting hammered on Saturday.
ding, 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 ding. and no one Tanya will be picking us up.
Oh, I'm gonna drink. How many bars do we go to?
I don't know.
17. I'm gonna drink
Kayla found this
17.
bar crawl and she sent in. She said bar
17
crawl, and then she said
Guinnesses.
invite them, and I said okay.
I'm in.
Oh, yeah. It's just the roomies. It's finger
The
bar.
roomies
It's
and
the roomies to
Tafoyas,
Toomies and the Johns.
and the Johns and the Albrights and the good people of Pacific Beach.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ugh.
Take that.
I got
The best
worried
part-
that it was gonna be downtown, but
No, ugh,
that would have been horrible.
no, that's too much for me. Going
Terrible.
downtown.
What's like? What is like?
a bar down?
Is there like a state
St. Patrick's Day?
cocktail? So
Go
like,
ahead.
what
a
is
state
Ireland's
cocktail?
They-
that
they
would
official
be
drink whiskey.
cocktail?
Guinness.
Yeah,
No,
Guinness.
there's
Their state cocktail?
It would be
Guinness.
some sort of whiskey drink, I'm going to say.
Probably Jameson something. I feel
probably-
like green tea shot has Jameson in it.
Now, I don't know if this is offensive, but it's
It is.
something called an Irish car bomb.
Oh, okay. First of all, I
Supposedly,
almost
this is an
went to
offensive
order-
thing.
Oh, it is.
Because
Do you know
it's
what
like,
it is?
yeah, because it's based off of like
It's like the
the terrorism that was
the
happening.
terrorism.
What is the offensive Irish cocktail?
Yes.
It's Irish
The
car bomb.
history
Irish
of
car
the
bomb.
Irish car bomb.
Maybe
For
we have to
those who
bleep
are
this out.
listening who don't know what an Irish car bomb is, it is a pint of Guinness
Yes.
with, I believe, Bailey's dropped into it, and you have to drink it before it curdles.
Ugh,
And that's why
disgusting.
you chug it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it will literally curdle.
I always thought it was just a shot of Jameson or whiskey.
It
or
might be
something.
Jameson and Bailey, but the whole point is if you let it sit, it will curdle.
What's in your head?
Yeah, and the thing about it is I believe during the Troubles is when they were the IRA, Irish.
Yeah, the Irish Resistance Army.
Yeah, was putting car bombs and bombing civilians' cars. And
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about, I mean,
you can't order an Irish car bomb.
conflict that didn't really make sense.
Well, it's religious
There's
conflict.
an
I feel
Irish
like that's
sour.
conflict. The main
But was it though?
the main reason for all of
Different flavor of Catholicism.
it's
My
Christianity
mother, she
in
was
a different form.
My father, he was orange. My mother, she was green. Something like that.
Or no, it's like Nacho Libre's life. My mother was Catholic and my father was Protestant, and they tried to convert each other.
But they got married instead. Classic. Love that movie.
Classic. Jack Black. The Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out. Talk about news.
Wow. Is that news?
I haven't seen one of them.
You're so brave.
Can you believe that
No, wait.
there
You
are
haven't
3
seen-
Kung Fu Panda movies with a 4th on the way, and Kara's seen not a single Kung Fu Panda
None.
movie.
You've not-
Wow.
The first one is so good.
Never
Kara.
seen it.
It's honestly cinema. Like,
It's
I'm not
so good.
exaggerating.
When did it
I'm
come
not even
out?
kidding. It's so good.
I feel like when we were in
2010.
middle school.
No, didn't see it.
Oh, Kara, that
Classic.
is a tragedy.
Oh, Kara.
But yet you've seen all of the Dunes.
No,
Just
actually
the,
no.
just the one. Just the tune.
Just the second one.
Honestly, I don't remember Dune 1 ever coming out.
Wah! Sorry, I can't stop talking about Dune, you
Yeah.
guys. I
Really?
No, you
okay,
can.
so Dune
was that
1,
good?
Seems unimpressed.
Dune 1, not good.
You
Kind of
watched
slow.
it?
Kind of slow. I watched half of it.
And it was
Oh,
Timothy
And then-
Chalamet and
Yes, it's basically Avatar. You saw Avatar?
You've seen
you've
Dune.
seen Dune. Okay.
You know how? Okay, so there's like a space planet, and there's people that want to go to the space planet to harvest resources
There's
from the
people
space
on
planet.
planets who are oppressed
Okay, do you remember the story Pocahontas?
by Emperor.
Yeah.
How the white people go there to get the gold, but then Pocahontas says, "Don't take our gold."
And then they said, "Fine,
do
we'll
it
take
anyways.
you."
Yes, and then they, and then, right?
One more time.
That's gonna be the best clip.
First
ever.
they, and then they.
It's just so awkward to hear for the listeners out there
Yeah.
to only hear
Okay,
that.
the listeners know exactly what I'm talking about. That's how the movie goes.
They know,
Yeah,
what they're,
okay,
they know what
okay.
they're in for
That's
on this
basically
show.
Dune,
Okay.
but with a twist. There's a chosen one thrown in. It's a little bit Star Wars.
A messiah.
Ugh, you guys, it's gonna win next year. It's gonna win all of the. Not Annie yawning openly. Literally went. That was crazy. And you know what? Completely in earnest too. She did not even try to yawn as a bit. She got so stupid.
Sorry. And then the idea of
So
Dune
lame.
2 winning all the awards.
It's gonna
at the
win
Oscars
all
next
of the
year?
Oscars next year. For,
I don't know about the acting, but
No, I
definitely
mean-
the
no, I mean the
Cinema.
What do you call it? Yes, all the cinematic
Yeah.
awards.
The
I
music
felt-
was great.
Okay, talk about the Oscars. There was one moment that I felt like no one's talking about, and it needs to be addressed.
You're talking about the Oscars 2024 mishap,
There were a couple mishaps. right?
or exciting thing. Tell me about it.
No,
Oscars 2024
Godzilla
talk.
won CGI
Yes.
award, right?
Yes.
They get up there, they start to do their speech. And they're kind of struggling through it with the English being a second language.
Okay.
Not even like 30 seconds into it,
Yeah.
they start
Music.
playing him off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're bastards. That's why.
And then
We
here
hate the
the,
Oscars.
next category, some
Not
whatever
surprising.
white woman, whoever winning whatever,
Emma
Minute.
Stone.
has a whole opportunity. I was like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Like here they are truly trying to get through this. They have it written out. They're struggling through it. They won an Oscar, and you're like, now I can understand you. Next.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, the Academy should be ashamed.
Hey, they're gonna just keep doing what they do. And
I
that
was
is-
Yeah.
surprised to see the president of the Academy was an Asian woman, and I felt really
Yep.
proud of that. I said, "Go Academy!"
Oh,
Until they then snubbed the Asian people for their speech. So I was like,
Yeah,
"Boo
that's right.
Academy!"
Then they got
and
'em.
they snubbed the
They know what
Native
works on
American
TV.
community.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they only gave him the one shot at it. So
It's true. And they should have given it to her.
yeah. Ugh.
I'll
What are you
say,
guys talking about? What's that about?
John, this weekend the Academy held the 96th
I know that.
Oscars.
What was your Indigenous people thing?
Lily,
Lily
Gladstone,
Gladstone.
was the first Native American woman to be nominated for Best Supporting Actress in Killers of the Flower Moon, and she didn't win.
She got
when
got
she's in a
by-
category with,
Emma Stone.
well, it wasn't all white women. It was 2 black women in there too.
Yeah,
and a
so-
black woman won.
It's kind of
But
hard
it
to
was
like.
still
be
very,
it's
like-
a race thing in that regard.
Yeah, it was still very like, yeah, she should have won.
I don't know.
Was she
But
the
the girl
best?
who did win, she
Emma
also
Stone.
deserved it.
Talking about Emma Stone in Poor Things.
No, Emma Stone.
No, supporting actress.
One actress.
Oh wait, no.
We're talking
No, you're
about
right.
actress.
We're talking about actress.
Oh.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oscars recap, John. Any highs and lows?
I lived it through like most people did through TikTok, and
What was your favorite TikTok you saw about the Oscars?
I found this out from you guys, but my phone heard you guys obviously because I started seeing a ton about the Best Picture announcer.
Al
God.
Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
So watching it was just as jarring as Harry about it.
Oh.
It was almost worse, honestly, because I knew how bad it was because you guys told me about it. But then actually watching it, I was like,
In case you missed it, picture like your grandpa or like some old person, some just crotchety old person reading Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah.
He opens the envelope and he goes, well, I see Oppenheimer.
That was it. That's
He
it.
didn't say like, and the Oscar goes to, he didn't say any of that. He goes, well, I see here Oppenheimer.
Like,
So-
like,
And
like
then-
it was a question.
And then they start playing the music and it's like, oh, haha, like he did it.
that's crazy that, and I had this thought too, because
Pacino.
we talk a lot about how old like all of our politicians are. And I'm like, why do we keep sticking old people in these positions? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time
To read and like announce
to,
things,
not to be like ageist, but like,
but let it rip.
there's got to be better people for these positions, you know? Like,
No, you could be ageist.
like I get Al Pacino, a legend in his own right. You know, like obviously,
Yeah.
They say, you know, obviously he's been in a lot of like amazing roles and movies and a legend. But like,
His newest role, father.
I know.
God.
That's
86-year-old
wild.
some would
father.
say his greatest role.
Some would
So
say
bad.
the best part he ever played.
We found out. So his wife is 29 years old. And guess who his
No.
wife was dating before when she was 22?
Guys,
Robert De Niro.
she has a body count that's crazy.
Oh, it's
Who is
Was
it?
she
it
had a thing
Leo?
with Clint Eastwood
recently.
recently. Who was her first like?
It was somebody else like that. Like maybe it was De Niro.
No, it wasn't.
So
De Niro.
who do we blame here? Do we blame
Wait.
Al Pacino? Do we blame
Yes.
her? I mean,
Yes.
she's clearly got the
Everyone
Does
body
he
in-
not
count.
know
everyone
that she's
involved
just trying to
sucks.
like get in his will?
My thing is like,
There's a will,
why-
there's a way.
It's weird to be dating someone that young,
Well,
as younger.
don't
than
knock
you.
until you try it.
It's
okay?
weird.
Weird for who? Because Al's probably loving it. She gets maybe some money, so she loves it.
Do you
It's
think-
weird for us because
Yes.
we're not
I mean,
involved.
True.
they're having sex. She had a child with him. Well, maybe they're not having
Wait,
sex,
what?
and she just collected the goods.
You know what's crazy is that
That's
child's going to be
wild.
like maybe 5 when he dies. Like maybe.
Oh, that's so rough.
Yeah, it's
Can
so
you imagine
sad.
like living your life and not
Because he's like 80 something. He's got to be.
because a
He's
lot of
like
people live their
84.
life and never meet their father, but then having your whole life go by and everyone knows who your dad is, but you've never met him, and you can like see him in movies, and you're like, okay, this was my father,
83.
and he
Well,
was
I
how
feel
much older than you, mom?
In a
Come
way,
on.
it almost is kind of like some of Michael Jackson's kids.
Okay,
Because then their legend outlives them, but then
Yeah.
also like their downfall outlives them too.
talking about Blanket.
Well, yeah.
Did
and
Blanket
then-
change their name?
I don't know.
yeah, they did.
Oh, it was Mick Jagger. She dated Mick Jagger when he was 74 and she was 22.
Oh, that's
And
disgusting.
then Nicholas Berggruen, I don't know who that is, and Clint Eastwood, and now Al Pacino.
It's more disgusting for the guys.
Biggie. Blanket changed his name to Biggie.
Oh,
You know what's crazy?
It's getting better,
Is
but
Al
still
Pacino
bad.
has a daughter who's 34
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
previous marriage and now has a newborn.
And a 29-year-old wife.
A 29-year-old, younger than
Or
your
a
child's
girlfriend.
what's
girlfriend.
wild is he was still old when his daughter was born. He would have been like 50.
The man's been old for 40 years.
So his first daughter was born in 1989, and that's Julie. He was born in 1940. So he was 49 when he had his first kid.
That's old for
That's very
having a
old.
That's old.
newborn.
1940. He was alive during World War II.
It's a lot of Viagra.
Not saying anything about old people, but
But what I'm saying is I just
they
feel
shouldn't
like,
be reproducing.
I feel like there are so many other like middle-aged, really good actors and actresses that can be delivering these, awards that would just be so much more captivating than watching like decrepit old Al Pacino, who again, legend, and the work he's done is really great.
The best part is when they
watching him
introduce-
crawl out there, and also poor and freaking. What's the movie that won? I'm sorry, I'm losing my
Oppenheimer.
Poor Oppenheimer, like gets this like half-ass. Like,
I swear that happens every year for Best Picture.
It's like really that
Like
just
best
ruins
picture.
it.
That was the last thing.
Well, then I sent it to you guys, but I saw the deep dive from 2017 when the wrong
Moonlight.
Moonlight won.
Awesome.
And they broke down why it happened because I never knew like why it happened. And a lot of people I guess had always speculated, but basically there's two people that are called the accountants is what they call them, and they both have briefcases with all the things on it. And they were saying how crazy it is because no one in production knows who wins. They have variations for every single possible winner, and they're calling those shots like to. And they say
As they
that
come.
they say that when whoever wins, like for Emma Stone when she won, they were like they had a list of people that the camera crew was supposed to find in case she references them.
Right.
Which
Yes.
is crazy.
Wow.
And basically what happened back a long time ago when they read the wrong name is the guy each guy basically stands on either side of the stage, and Emma Stone that year had won
Yep.
for La La Land, weirdly, but she won again this year.
Best actress.
Best actress, and that was the one like right before the big thing, right? And so the guy on the left side, they have two sets of envelopes, right? One for each briefcase. Well, the guy on the right gave the envelope for Emma Stone. Guy on the left was giving the one for Best Picture, but somehow he's supposed to throw away the Emma Stone envelope and forgot. And he was at that year, the envelopes were hard to open. So he was showing every presenter, this is how you run your finger underneath it to get it out.
Okay.
And he was showing it on the Emma Stone envelope, but holding the Best Picture underneath. And then he just handed the envelope, not thinking to the presenter. So when I don't know who it was. It was
Warren Beatty.
Yeah. When he opened it up, he saw Emma Stone La La Land. And if you watch the clip back, he's like really confused, and they all thought he was doing a bit, like he was like kind of like stringing them along, but it was because he like didn't realize, and then he like showed the woman to like try and figure it out, and she just read La La Land, because she saw underneath, and it was the same
word,
it was the same font, it was the same like size, it just had Emma Stone La La Land, but he was confused because he's like. Clearly, like this is the wrong one.
I wonder if somebody got fired for that.
Oh, he did. He got. The guy who mixed up the envelope wasn't asked back to the Academy.
Dang.
They also changed the font.
Yeah.
But that's
on
what
the
I mean.
cards,
Like
now it's like in small font, it's what the category is, the name in big font, and then what they're from in little font.
Is that guy responsible for that? No chance.
No, he was.
He is.
He
I mean,
was.
I guess if he did the old swapperoo.
And what they're saying is the real crime of the whole thing was those guys memorize all the winners. They know it inside and out. So like they have the envelopes, but the real crime was that they let
La La Land,
the producers speak, like multiple producers give acceptance speeches before they ran up and corrected it. So they're saying it's not even that they gave the envelope switch through, because that's just like that's an accident. It happens. But it's like those guys.
He was probably backstage going goop.
Those guys didn't step up to go, until after this, they've already given all these speeches. So that was the real crime, was they didn't step in and intervene. And then they like show the clip and they show the guy who messed it up, and he's like in the background. But it took a stage manager to go out there, and you see him like, like we all watched it. You see him like kind of buzzing around.
I'd pay $1 million to be backstage at that exact moment.
Yeah.
I would love to watch that conversation.
It's like the Steve Harvey thing. Remember the Steve Harvey Miss Universe or whatever?
Totally.
And he
knew right off the bat he read it
He went
wrong.
out there and they told him in an interview. He said they told me not to go out there. They said we'll figure it out tomorrow. We'll put out a press release tomorrow. And he said no, it's my mistake. I'm gonna go make it right. And he walked back on stage and he made it right.
I kind of love him for that.
Oh, I mean that's why he's still doing it. He had a contract for like 5 years. It was his first year in a 5-year contract.
I'm
for
your
hosting.
man.
And
Steve
I think that's what saved him. I think they would have gotten rid of him had he not gone out there and made it right. But that was the way to do it, because then it was like, oh yeah, it sucks, but it's not like you let someone believe they won for 24 hours. And
I think I have the solution. Next year's Oscars. It's all on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's one guy. It's Steve Harvey.
It's Brew. Oh, never mind.
It's Steve Harvey. Okay. No, it's John Cena naked.
I thought it was Brew on the radio. He's like the TikTok guy.
Yeah,
They send all those things.
I know it's the guy that makes sandwiches. It's just one guy, and he's just gonna read a list. Like, okay, so this is gonna be the Oscars. It's gonna be 15 seconds long. Here it is: Best Picture, Oppenheimer; Best Actor, this; Best Thing, this. Like, as if it's like Student of the Week or something. Like,
Yeah, my thing
and
is,
then just it's done.
what are the odds that that guy, as soon as it happens, because they're the only two people that know, he just goes up to his buddy and he's like, "We're never telling anyone. We're never telling anyone. We're gonna burn these envelopes."
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
La La Land won, and no one will ever know because no one ever know. No one would
Only
ever.
the
know.
two-
no one
only
would
the
know.
two guys knew.
Yeah, I would have gone up to that guy. I would have went out and grabbed that envelope from the
Well,
old dude
actually,
and been like, "Oh,
yeah.
we need to fix this.
They
Sorry,
would
it's
know.
a typo."
Yeah, you'd have to get Warren Beatty on it.
Well, you just
in
kill
on
him,
it too. You just
obviously.
kill him off
Let's
stage.
hire somebody to kill him, and then we.
If only it were that easy.
So I wonder which old fart they're gonna have next year announce Best Picture.
Annie, any takers?
Jimmy
old
Carter.
fart. No, Jimmy Carter. They were wheeling him out
Live from
He's
the
He's
peanut
gonna be
farm.
like that girl from the
peanut
mom
butter.
in SpongeBob in the
peanut
wheelchair.
butter.
Chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Grandma basically has the same qualifications as Al Pacino.
For
so
real,
just-
they're the same ones.
I-
they have Dick Van Dyke,
On
and he's gonna
March-
tap dance his way out.
On March 22nd, Jimmy Carter holds the title of the oldest living president.
Really?
So it's not this week.
Whoa.
It's next week.
It's his birthday?
No, it's just like it's not his birthday, but he surpasses the longest
Oh, I see.
living
Who's
president.
the previous? Reagan?
It didn't say, but it said on March 22nd he officially becomes the longest living president ever.
Reagan did
and
live a long time.
this year, I win the Deadpool when he passes away.
No,
you
he's not
don't. You
passing
gave him
away.
up.
No,
Jimmy Carter?
No, he has him.
Didn't
Oh,
I
I
this year?
thought-
Last
no.
year I did the King.
The king.
The king.
That's right.
Yep.
But speaking of
Oh,
the
yeah.
royal family,
There we go.
there's this new conspiracy theory out.
Okay.
So Kate Middleton, let me just give you backstory. Kate Middleton went into surgery. Remember a while back, it was like Kate
Allegedly.
Middleton went in for abdominal surgery at the same time that, the king went into some random like colonoscopy or whatever.
That's
He
right.
was getting cancer.
He's getting ass blasted. Yeah.
They blasted
and-
his ass.
Yeah. And so that's such a rough way to say
That
like
is-
prostate cancer.
Prostate
Ass
cancer
blasted.
removal. Ass blasted.
So good. Trademarked.
Let me write that down.
And so the new theory is because she was seen for the first time in months
In a car.
in a car driving, and I guess
Allegedly.
the palace will sometimes be like, yeah, we planned for her to be seen in this car. I don't know why, that's so stupid. But so they were like,
so.
we didn't plan this. We didn't mean for her to be seen. I was like, hey, weird thing to say.
Yeah.
But she looks very unhappy. Well, the rumor is now that she had a baby, or she had a baby aborted.
What?
Oh.
And it was the pregnancy of out of wedlock from an affair she was having with her sister's ex-boyfriend,
What?
who
Okay.
in 2 weeks ago was found mysteriously dead. It's an apparent suicide, but people are like, it's a little fishy. The timing's
Oh.
weird. It's like he's found dead. She comes back from this mysterious being away for surgery.
Ask me later about apparent suicide. So
Okay.
did she? No, nobody would know. So did? I'm confused. So
No,
we
it's all-
think this is
Well,
a
because
lot.
she's
went
been
from
missing.
0 to 100 pretty
She's
quickly.
been missing for months.
But
She's been
why
missing
do we
for
think that
months.
she's having an affair with somebody?
Well,
Was
because
she-
that could have been her
Well,
appointment.
that had been a rumor for a while that they
Okay.
Kate
So
and
it's a
William are,
rumor based on the
Rumors based
other
on
rumors.
rumors.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm willing to hear them all
said,
out.
I have always said that this is a historical fiction podcast
Okay.
based on true events.
She's always said that.
Yeah, it's true. She has.
Constantly, she's saying it.
The names in this store have been changed for people's privacy.
How much?
We just
Now,
can't
Kate
talk about
Middleton, did she?
certain people on here.
Right.
Yeah, or else
Or else
turns out
TikTok will ban
TikTok
us.
will take us down. We're being silenced.
Tell me about. Have we seen her since the car ride? Or
No.
Okay, so
She's probably dead.
she's. Where is she usually? Do we usually see her that often? Where's she
She's,
hanging out?
around the palace.
That's what I mean. Like
she's walking around the edge and going like this to people, like, "Hey."
it's not like if
hey.
somebody asked me like, "Where's the king right now?" I'd be like, he's in the West
England.
Wing." Like I
the
wouldn't
West
know.
Wing.
Black. What do you think the
He's
king's
in his sex dungeon.
Yeah, he
What
did
do you
sex
think the
dungeon.
king's radio signal is? You know how the president's
The eagle has landed.
What's the king's?
Old.
Mullet.
Old
Old
mullet.
mullet.
Old mullet.
Old mullet.
Cheeky bastard won.
Cheeky-
Cheeky bastard is flying in.
The
What was
cheeky
the-
bastard has landed. The ass
Jimmy
has been
Carter's.
blasted.
The peanut farmer's coming in.
Second oldest. You want to know what the second oldest president?
Yeah,
Yes,
who is
yeah,
he going to
thanks
beat
for
out
asking.
on March 22nd?
George
Washington?
George H.W. Bush.
Oh, HW.
A bit of a correction. I'm sorry. I saw
George.
March 22nd. He already is the oldest like president. It happened in 2019, a long time ago, apparently.
Oh.
But
So now he's 4 years a senior.
yes, yeah. I'm sorry. I read
5 years.
I read March 22nd. I was like, oh, it's because in the article
So
it said,
it's the 5-year anniversary of him becoming the oldest living president.
Okay.
Literally, yeah.
That's
Got it.
crazy.
Go.
yeah.
Go.
Because
Jimmy.
George
Still got it.
H.W. was
HW.
94
Read my lips.
94 years old and 171 days.
You know what my favorite George H.W.
Dang.
Bush quote is?
Read my lips.
You want to know? And I'll tell you a sad factor for that. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Way to follow it. He's in a press conference, and they're like, "Are you gonna tell the kids to eat their broccoli?" And he turns around. He's like, "I hate broccoli. I'm not gonna tell anyone to ever eat broccoli. It's disgusting, and I stand by that.
What?
You don't need broccoli." He like goes on this whole thing.
What a psycho.
It's clipped in the National Archives, like on a loop, and it's this one press moment where he goes off out. He's like, "I don't like broccoli, and you're not gonna make me eat it. I don't care if I'm
Isn't
the
he the one
president."
who implemented like healthy foods? in
Yeah,
the
I think
school?
that was like kind of the joke. It's like he was like, "Oh, we need to be healthy, but don't you
41st
dare
president.
make me broccoli."
Ronald Reagan was number 4 on this list. Guess who's 11th on this list? Oldest president.
Joe Biden.
Oh my gosh, Trump.
No, it's Joe Biden. It's
Yeah.
number 11
Yeah.
on the oldest president
I think
ever.
Well, yeah,
Joe-
back in
Oh,
the day,
yeah.
it was old white
He's
crusty
only number
men.
11. He's the oldest sitting president.
Yeah,
And
but
he
was
beat
the
out
oldest elected.
Donald Trump because Donald Trump, when he was the president,
Oh.
he was the oldest sitting
president.
Donald
president.
Trump is number 16 on this list.
Yeah. Keep in
oldest
mind
living.
too, John.
Yes.
Keep in mind too, people were dying for the most
Early.
of our history. People were dying at like 50.
Dysentery.
That was like man. He
That's
is
crazy though.
old.
I'm sorry.
How old was
way
Washington
too
when he
old.
died?
I think 12.
Oh,
Pretty sure he
Probably
was
like 40.
14.
Died at 7.
no. No.
There was a
Oh.
split second.
67.
Oh, that's pretty old for back then. You know why? Because he retired.
He wanted
was
to
like,
sit
"I'm
under
done."
his own vine and fig tree.
He had wooden teeth.
Well,
He didn't have wooden teeth.
March
He had his slave's
22nd,
teeth.
he's celebrating beating out the other presidents.
For the 5th time.
March 19th. Ready for this one?
March 19th.
March Madness.
Oh.
Really? Are we
I want to talk to you.
podcast?
I don't care about sports. Here's what I care about, John.
Go ahead.
You ever make a bracket for March Madness?
Never.
In case you don't know, there's 68 teams that go into March Madness.
Yes.
All
Yes.
college basketball teams. And they all boop, 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 boop. People bet by making a bracket because all these teams go up against each other and then there's one winner. And then those teams go up against each other and there's another winner. And
Yeah.
it goes down to, the 16, to the 8,
Final Four.
to the Final Four, and then there's a winner.
Yeah.
Now, people will make a bracket. They'll say, I think this team wins this one. I think this team wins this one. 32, right? They'll go all the way down, and then they'll bet money on it. And if you get a certain amount right, you get a return on that, whatever.
Yeah. So what's the numbers?
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, one of the richest, oldest probably,
He gives away a lot of money though.
one of the richest men in the world, he offered to all of his employees if you got a perfect bracket, that is, and I'll tell
me
you
so
the odds
nervous.
of it in a second, $1 billion.
How
And
many
it's
employees does he have?
And it's a standing, and I'm sure it's probably like extended to, I don't know what's going on over there.
How many employees does he have?
Great question.
Don't look at us. We just did something funny.
Okay.
Because my thing is, if he has a lot of employees, all the employees need to get on a group email and take them off and go, we all just need to make different variations.
And then we'll split the billion.
and we'll split the bill.
Oh, easy. Also, do you just have like? Is he liquid a bill? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, he's
he
multiple
has
bills.
a bill in the bank that he could just.
I bet
give
you he
away?
probably does.
I'm sure he's got to
I feel
sell a
like
couple
he'll sell
hospitals or
some
Yeah,
something.
I feel like a bill is something you have more in
Here's
assets
the thing.
than you do.
He's
in
never
the
going to
bank.
have to. The odds of getting a perfect bracket, 1 in 147 quintillion.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's safe bet. I'd bet $1 billion.
Yeah, against the 1 in 40,
No,
147
you don't-
quintillion. This is according to Investopedia. They
That's a
said
Oh my
perfect
God.
getting a
How
perfect.
much money does he have?
I just looked up his net worth.
Yeah, he's got multiple hundreds of billions.
This can't be right.
He's like
Well, let's
Bezos,
see.
dude.
This
How much?
cannot be right. $133 billion.
Yeah.
How many houses does he have?
Dude, Elon has like 250 bill, I think.
I'm
like-
going to be sick to my
Warren
stomach.
Buffett, yeah,
I
the whole
literally
thing is he's
can't.
like
133
investor,
bill.
right?
Yeah. One of the richest
That
men.
makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like one of the richest guys in the billions.
So even
But
money that he's probably not even getting.
As we learn,
Yeah.
is
He's
as we
top
learn,
five.
net worth is like he like has that in an estimated value. It's not like he's made that much
Sure.
over the course of his life. He has $133 billion.
So if he has a bunch of
in
investments,
assets.
he can't touch it.
Yes.
Yeah,
no, but he
so
probably
that's
has
actually- he
at
probably
least
has, like,
$1 billion
billion
he could sell
investments.
off and
He
give
could,
to
he could liquidate
one
at any
lowly
time and
employee.
have $133 billion. That's crazy.
But he won't. How old is he?
Your chances of getting the
That
first
list can make me
36,
depressed.
just the first 36, 1 in 68 billion. So the odds that you even get that first round perfectly is 1 in 68 billion.
He's 93.
Oh.
I bet you it's all locked up
How
in
old is
trust
his
and stuff.
wife? 12.
Oh,
This is the
God,
guy that
Annie.
like tells you to drink. What was it? He like
Kool-Aid?
Oh, he has a McDonald's McMuffin every morning or something.
And a Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
Is that the guy? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Wait, can
He
I see a
has
picture
something
of him?
like that.
He looks old as hell, right?
See,
Old
that's when
people
people are
love
like,
doing stuff
don't
like
drink
that.
soda. I'm like, screw you.
He looks
like
every
any
every
white guy.
old person
He looks
says
like
to
any
drink
white guy
soda
you've
or
ever
wine.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Looks
is
pretty good for his age.
the
I'll be
penultimate
real.
white rich guy.
My grandfather, speaking of old white men, thank you, turned 90 yesterday.
Congratulations.
Go,
Is this
Jimmy!
Grandpa Scove or who is this?
Grandpa Witt,
Grandpa Witt.
Roberta's father.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love.
Go, James.
James
Jimmy.
Witt.
James Witt.
That's a
James
good strong
Allen Witt
name.
for
What
ya.
did Jamie Witt do when he was in his prime?
He owned a plumbing company. He took over his brother's plumbing company and his father's plumbing company.
The Witt Brothers Plumbing Co.
He also was a race car driver.
They're gonna say he's a racist.
Well,
Okay. Whoa.
No,
Probably.
no.
He was a race car driver.
Uh-huh.
That's when my uncles got into racing and my cousins got into racing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Double life.
double life. Yeah, there used to be an El Cajon Speedway,
Yes.
yeah, there was.
and
Yeah,
he
on
was
Speedway.
a big winner in El Cajon Speedway.
Wow. How many races do you think he won? Just give me a guesstimate.
He has quite a few trophies, so I think quite a bit.
And he probably kept only the good ones.
Those aren't
Yeah,
plumbing
he has
trophies.
like a 3-foot one that has like a little replica of his car. His car was lime green so that my grandma could see it easily on the track.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
And then when my
sweet.
cousin was racing NASCAR, they did like a throwback car week or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And all the cars were painted like old classic NASCARs. And he painted his like my grandpa's car.
Oh, wow. A lot
And
of
he even
race,
had, like-
race cars in your family. Huh?
Yeah. Big race car family. Big
Wow.
NASCAR family.
And plumbing, apparently.
And plumbing. Yeah. Plumbing and NASCAR. You know what? Weird enough. Go hand in hand. But yeah, that.
How many billions do you think he's got? After the
Maybe
race car
like-
and the plumbing business,
One.
just the single billion.
Probably
One.
1 billion.
Wow.
Probably an asset.
Did
You know
get
what's
to the
crazy?
You get to the bottom of anything over there?
I did. Sorry. No, keep talking about your grandpa though.
Well, I was
No.
gonna go back to about
Warren
money.
Buffett?
My grandparents thought it was crazy that I had a credit card. Like they were like they were shocked
Yeah,
that I
you
had a
told
credit
me about
card.
this. This is crazy.
This is wild. They have never had a line of credit.
ever.
They
How did they-
everything they've bought and they could just afford.
Even their house?
Yeah,
They bought for
They-
cash?
Yeah, they
Yes.
they built their house for cash.
Multiple houses, by the way.
multiple
Wait, whoa.
houses.
They never got a car loan. They
Nope.
never.
No, just bought
Isn't that
it.
crazy?
They were
We should go into
shocked.
plumbing.
They were
Wait a second.
shocked.
Wait a second.
Wait,
When they
Ryan and John Plumbing?
Wait,
I
the
literally
Plumbing
was
Brothers?
like,
Hey.
my grandmother almost cried when she found out I had a credit card.
You're like, okay,
Little
give
did
me
I tell
money
her I had
then.
multiple.
Give me,
I was
give
like-
me money.
I
Wow,
literally was
that's
like,
so-
what do you
Grandma,
mean?
I have a
They're
credit
like-
card, and guess what? I have multiple.
I was like, and
I'm
I am
in
in
debt.
debt.
Grandma, I've missed several payments.
Okay, that's not true. Mom, Dad, I've missed no payments.
No, of course not. Of course
None.
Not you. No, certainly not
I
you.
am in debt. No, just kidding. But I was like,
You're brave.
that is wild. And then I
You
was,
told me that. It's so hard to believe.
wild, so hard to believe.
I mean, I believe it. But
But
Okay,
like,
but
man.
back then, respectfully, not to be ageist,
Okay.
back then, didn't a
could buy
house
land for, like,
you could buy a
$1.
house for like a barrel of strawberries or something, right?
Well, and they turns
Yeah,
out they
ages.
bought
That
a
was
bunch of
incredibly
land
ageist.
and just sat on it forever, not
And then
doing
they sold it
anything.
back to the
and
city,
they sold
right?
it back to the city.
Yeah.
And made bank.
Okay.
I was like,
That makes
like
sense.
where my storage unit is, they were like casually, they're like, oh,
we
we
used
used to own that lot. And I was
It's like they're like, we've never had a credit card. Oh, we also bought a bunch of Apple stock back in the 70s.
yeah, we never had
We
a
were a
credit
major
card, but we
shareholder of
did-
Amazon.
We did invent the iPhone.
Yeah,
That might
God.
be it.
I know a family friend, older woman, and she had a lot of money, and I finally asked like somebody I knew, I'm like what did she?
How
What
she
she do?
loaded?
What she do for a living? You know, what did her husband? You know,
How?
did she work? Did her husband work? What did they do? And she invested in Verizon when it was a pager company.
That's so
Wow.
And
crazy.
still has the stock today.
Stuff like that makes me feel so stupid sometimes.
I literally-
what is our pager company?
Literally
What is our stock?
today,
What's our
today
Verizon
I was
right now?
seeing TikToks about people saying like, I'm not for Ozempic. I don't take Ozempic, but do I have Ozempic stock? Yes, I do.
No, that's not it. That's
Stock
not
Yes.
on it. Dude.
You know what's
Honestly,
going
I
to take
should've
that down?
up. It
When
went
they do
90
one clinical study on
90%
that,
up
and they go,
in the
"This
last
is
month."
toxic." That thing's going to freaking
Well,
dive.
yeah, buy low,
already
sell high,
are.
John.
dive.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Like,
Because
what's our like buy an acre for a quarter? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what is it
don't
going to
have that
be?
option.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
9 out of 10, like internet tech bros would tell you crypto. I feel
No.
like, but I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
sent you the TikTok. Well, I think I sent it to you.
Go ahead.
I don't know. You don't have TikTok anymore. But the one
You're
about
brave.
private companies buying up all single family homes. Did you see that one? I
I
sent
did
you?
see that. What? I didn't watch
There
it. Tell
are
me about it.
private equity companies that are buying up every single family home they can get their hands on. And they're saying projected that by the end of next year, private equity companies will own 60% of single family homes in America.
So are they waiting for the crash
they're,
or something?
they're buying them to
They
rent
rent
them.
them.
They want
They're
people
not
to. They want to own the corner
like
on
an
single family
Airbnb,
homes.
and then they've got slumlords going
Yes,
around
and-
ruining our
and-
communities.
And so that they're saying that our generation will be lucky to own a home if we even get the opportunity.
Sad.
Isn't that
That's-
crazy? You're big on this. Go ahead.
Oh.
Soapbox. Here we go.
I'm so
If
big
I ever
on
see a
this.
landlord,
I have an issue, and I think that there needs to be legislation passed onto how many, like going forward, how many homes you can own if you're not living in any of them. Because I'm
yeah.
fully for like if you invest and you live in a home, you fix it up, you buy another home, you rent that other home out, and that is like a source of income. I believe in that business. Like I believe that you should have that opportunity.
Just have
to do it.
someone living there.
It's
You're
when
saying,
you
wait.
have these like investment bros who are like, oh, I bought like
It's big
10
companies,
houses and I rent them out for max property. I live in a mansion down the street and I'm renting out to these low income people for max area like profit. And that's where I'm like, no, like there has to be some sort of regulation on it to make it where these people like at the same time we're having these arguments. Okay, I'm gonna call it out. I look at Point Loma. Point Loma has
You're brave.
a huge has like a huge
Say her name.
forum to discuss the homeless problem because they want to like the county of Point, I don't even know, the like town of Point Loma wants to build a homeless shelter. The people who live in Point Loma are like, I don't want that, but it's like you guys are also the ones who are like for the most part actively like
ruining the housing market.
ruining the housing
Yes.
market. You guys are the ones who are like, well, just buy some investment property in East
Mm-hmm.
County. And it's like, well, you're the reason why no one can afford to buy a house.
Even in
because,
East County.
Yeah, even in East County, because you guys are doing this.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard because I'm like, now you're like, oh, we have such a homeless problem. I go, because of you.
Yeah.
Because you are adding to it.
Well, they're saying
Punching
that
down.
that the video that I sent you, she said that a lot of legislation has been talked about regarding this, but a lot of these politicians that are like so-called writing and petitioning on this are being paid
Silenced.
by
Gag money.
But I want to
these big
say on the
companies.
other side, like when my grandparents passed away, they had a house that my dad and my grandpa built. And the reality was we could not afford to keep that house because the property tax had raised so much because all this stuff. And that's the other side of it where I was like, I feel like that's criminal of the government to be like, oh, I know that this has been in your home since, like, you created
Right.
this property, you created this whole, like, you know, this lot, you built it up from nothing, but we actually decided that it's worth this much to us, and you can't afford that, so you gotta give it back. You gotta give it to us.
Because
You
of
pay the
inflation,
whole
because
thing.
of the times, whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's criminal and like heartbreaking.
Totally. And I'm like, part of me goes, okay, well then that's good. Like maybe that's good. Maybe that gives a young couple an opportunity to buy a property.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I'm like, as long as our government is putting that money towards
Something
back into
positive.
the community.
Yeah.
Because then it gets like jumbled up for me when I'm like, okay, at the end of the year, we're like sending all this money overseas, or like everybody, you know, in Congress gets a big pay cut, you know, big bonus. It's like, okay, well,
Where's my boat?
yeah, like where's help for those issues, those things where like our homeless here in San Diego are just getting their asses blasted. Like, where's help for them? It's like, I don't know.
Ass blast counter.
I saw a homeless guy today. I was in a coffee shop,
4.
and he came in and he was kind of going person to person,
Mm-hmm.
asking for a couple dollars. And he didn't look like.
And you said, get out of Poiloma.
Oh, I was.
This is our
I was in East
hometown.
County. I was in La Mesa.
You're like, we need to clean up these streets.
and
Seinfeld.
he was going person to person, and the coffee shop people like didn't really do anything at first because he was like, whatever, like, you know, like he wasn't being disruptive. And then he kind of started like hassling this woman of like, hey, like a couple dollars, like they like I don't mean to bother you, you know, had kind of like this rehearsed speech. And then they finally like came in like, we gotta ask you to like to leave.
Yeah.
And he starts going off on this like, you effing like it ain't illegal for me to ask for help. It ain't illegal for me to
Dang.
call the cops, see what
Dang.
happens, get on my face. And this like girl is doing so this girl's doing so good, like trying to be calm with him. They walk outside. He's like getting in her face. These two guys from the coffee shop like hop up. These two customers are like, hey man, bro, like back it up. And it wasn't, and he didn't seem like he was on drugs. He just seemed like he was like just down on his luck.
Sure.
You know? And he was like, and what he had, when he came up to me, he had said like, do you have a couple dollars? I'm trying to like pay for a shower.
Sure.
And and it's just hard because I'm like, man, like they're like, I mean, a lot of times the shelters are impacted and you don't like they can't take new people and
Yeah.
there's a waiting list
Yeah.
and then you're like, what do you do? What are you to do? Like, I mean, not that, like that is not the solution. Yelling at the poor girl at the coffee shop, who's
Right.
just trying to like
No,
keep her
and there's
from-
no boots on the ground answer for it. Like,
Yeah.
our government refuses to like hardly even address the opioid crisis. Like,
Yeah.
there's a serious mental health problem with homeless people because of fentanyl, because of drug use, and like it's just like, right. Like we don't care. Like, oh well, maybe if we raise taxes and we do this and that, and we'll solve the real issue, which is like, you know, political.
I want a name of everyone who
problems.
has stock in OxyContin.
Yeah,
I know you exist.
Yeah.
it's so rough. Like, and they're all getting, you know,
Billions.
yeah, from those companies that's going in their pocket. You know, it's easy to spin out. It is.
Absolutely.
But it is like, it does make you go like, well now what? Like where does that leave us?
Yeah. I mean, there's like glimmers of hope and obviously like downfalls, right? Like France was the first country in the world to make abortion a legal right.
Okay.
Like an autonomous right,
Oh.
like in their constitution. I think it passed like this week. Patty.
A new ruling. You can have an
French.
abortion if you want to.
But it's that kind of thing where like, you know,
Pretty
you see
good.
people. Yeah, it was really good. You see both sides. Kara loved it.
Shout
Kara
out
wants to
our-
do that in bed.
Shout out to our French audience. What was that?
What?
Folks, if you're listening from France
Sorry.
this week, leave a comment below. We'll send you a sticker.
We'll mail you a sticker to France.
you a sticker. I mean, great for France.
Good
Good.
for France.
Do you, John?
What's up?
Any glimmers of hope in your part of town?
Aw, glimmers of hope.
I mean, on this particular thing.
Yeah, it's
Or just anywhere,
I'm
anything.
spiraling out, so let's end on
No,
a good note.
I think
Glimmers of
what
hope.
what I will say, and I've been thinking about that the other side of this too, is I do think that our political system is going to change a little bit. Because like think about all the old people that are in power right now.
Users.
And I'm like, I like
They're
to
all gonna
think
die.
that the next generation is going to come in and at least at this level, and like I said, follow through on legislation to make sure that big companies aren't allowed to take over systems and inundate systems like this, and restore the idea that we could maybe own a home someday.
Sure.
You know? And I think every so often we see the pendulum kind of swing one way or the other. And I think we are in a weird spot where, you know, everything is kind of expensive, and we are seeing these kind of scary ideas that people might not be able to own a home or whatever, or live under, a slumlord or landlord for the rest of their lives.
Or a bridge.
I think what America it does is that it swings the other way, you know, and it's like this thin line of fragility where we're like, yes, it feels like the world could end tomorrow, but then, you know, in a couple of years, we get some good people in good positions, and it'll maybe go our way, you know?
I think I hear what
I like that.
what you're trying to say.
Go ahead.
You're trying to say
By the way, I hate when somebody says that. for
John
the record.
Albright running for president 2034. Here he comes, folks. Here he
No
comes.
way.
You are brave.
I'm sorry.
2034.
You couldn't pay me enough to be
2034?
president of this country.
What?
2034.
34.
It's going to be your year.
Annie, 2034, there's no election.
2036.
2036.
Let's just call it what it is.
2036.
Wait, how old do you have to be to run for president?
35.
Oh, yeah. So you got some years on you.
That's why I added 10 years. I
Yep.
figured, you know.
Let's go.
Pat it a little
yeah,
bit.
2034. Yeah, that's good.
36.
What year is it now?
2024.
Is it really?
God.
Wow.
Dang.
You know what's looking up for me? This is a glimmer of hope for the rest of the world.
Okay.
That Costco hot dog still $1.50, baby. Still $1.50.
Costco hot dog for president.
Costco.
Slice of pizza,
Costco.
chicken bake on the side.
Costco, I know you'll never sponsor us, but please,
Oh
for
my
the
God,
love
I would piss
of
myself
everything
if Costco-
that is good in this world,
I would literally blast
all you have
anyone's
to do
ass
is give
be
us like a
sponsored by
$50
Costco.
gift card
Once.
once, and we will literally
We
never
are
stop
the
talking
whores
about
for you,
Kara,
Costco.
what's your glimmer of hope?
You have 10 seconds.
Oh,
3.
God. You 3?
Okay, give us just one high in your life right now. A positive.
Do I even have one right now?
Oh, God.
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
hate that.
And
I hate
Kara
that
is
so
the
much.
realist.
I don't even know if I have one right now.
Oh, Kara. St.
Kara.
Patty's Day.
It's not here yet.
Green beer. my low right now, St. Patrick's Day, not today. I wish every day were St. Patrick's Day.
Damn, so do I.
Well, folks, we thank you for listening and hope you have a very
Merry Christmas.
Festivus St.
What?
Patrick's Day
What?
this weekend.
Festivus.
Hey, chase some snakes out of your weekend.
Hey, chase some snakes out of here.
Hey, you want to
like-
give us a little Irish one-liner for us?
Sure.
Yeah, remember what are those things called?
Oh,
Like an Irish blessing.
oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I
go
got
ahead.
you.
Quick Irish
Let me look
blessing.
one up. I can do the one I always do, but
Do the one you always do.
no, I know a few of them.
All right.
Kara's high is that she gets to hang out with us.
She's married to.
High above you,
Thank you.
so lovely.
I need it with the accent too, thanks.
Okay. May your troubles be less and your blessings be more,
That's not with the
and
accent.
nothing but happiness come through your door.
I need it with the accent.
Yeah, you lost it.
That was good.
You lost
No,
it.
there was no accent. That was just Ryan.
Come on, you're
Okay.
Well,
Hoy! May your blessings outnumber the shamrocks that grow, and may trouble avoid you wherever you go. On the couch as always, Cara Tavoya. Annie the Skull
You could say my
Skolman.
maiden name for that one.
I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on
What
the Podcast?
I was so enthralled by your accent.
Wait,
I-
my
Tafoya is
Irish
not
blessing.
Irish. You have to say
It
Philly.
does kind of sound Irish, but
Say
Philly, yeah.
Philly.
Gotcha.
Why is it spicy? Well, I'm seeing Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, baby.